Turkey. Every year we cook up millions of these fat, flightless birds, and every year millions more of us will choke down their dry, overcooked, flavorless flesh. Most often than not, we put them in the oven set for 325, forget about them until our trusty dial thermometer tells us they're ready. Then we pull them out, carve them up, and give them a bath in gravy. Well, not this year. With a few temperature tips, we're going to show you how to serve up moist and flavorful meat. And we're not roasting it this year. No sir. We're smoking this baby the way the Pilgrims would have wanted it. Before we start working our turkey, we need to turn our attention to our pit. Smoking a turkey requires an outdoor barbecue pit. Even a gas grill will work. But the last thing you want to do is to try and smoke your turkey in the house. Don't say we didn't warn you. We're going to want to steady our pit between 235 and 275 degrees to get the slow, even cook that we're looking for. This is going to require the right amount of coals, a quick lesson in ventilation, and some heavy-duty thermocouple probes to give us accurate readings of what's happening inside the pit. Go easy on the coals. This particular cooker is ceramic and will hold heat very well for long periods of time, so don't start with too much. We're placing a few coals in the bottom of the cooker, and we'll add white-hot embers from the chimney starter to keep the heat coming. We've all seen the dial thermometers that come installed from the factory. Whatever you do, don't use this to give you an accurate indication of what's going on inside your pit. Not only can they be several degrees off, but positioned on the dome of the cooker, they're not telling you what's happening where your turkey is. To really know what's going on inside your cooker, use an air temperature probe that clips directly to the grill grate. We recommend a professional thermocouple with a crocodile clip. The heavy-duty steel-braided cable will protect the lead to the meter, which sits safely outside of the cooker. Simply clip the thermocouple onto the grates and run your lead to the meter and you're all set. We're using 2 probe clips to give us a better indication of what's happening across the grate surface. As our thermocouple sensors give us real-time temperature readings, we'll be better able to adjust the vents on the top and bottom of the cooker to help us achieve our target temperature between 235 and 275 degrees Fahrenheit. Opening the vent will allow more airflow over the coals and will increase the heat. Closing the vents will shut off airflow and decrease heat. While the pit is stabilizing, we're going to turn our attention back to the turkey. As you can see, it's been prepped and ready to go. But we haven't told you anything about flavor profiles, recipes, or rubs. Well, that's because here at ThermalWorks, we're all about temperature. We're going to leave the recipes and rubs up to you. What we will tell you is that we've thawed our turkey in the fridge according to industry standards, and this turkey is thawed and ready to go. Before we put it in the pit, we're going to use our thermopen to check the internal temperature and make sure it's ready to go. Now that we know the turkey has reached its ideal internal temperature for cooking, it's time to put it on the pit, right? Wrong. Remember, at ThermalWorks, we're all about temperature. We want to know what's going on inside of that turkey the whole time it's on the pit. To do that, we're going to need more professional thermocouple thermometer probes. We're going to insert one probe in the breast and another in the thigh, making sure to stay away from bone and the internal cavity where airflow will make it hotter than the center of the breast. We're going to use our smokehouse penetration probe to get deep inside the breast and give us the internal temperature at the very coolest part. We're going to use our miniature needle probe to stick into the thigh, staying away from bone, to make sure we reach our ideal internal temperature. When we know what's happening inside the bird, there's a better chance we won't overcook it. Our pit is reading right inside of our target temperature zone of 235 to 275 degrees Fahrenheit. Our bird is prepped and ready with one probe in the breast and another in the thigh. Let's add some wood, get some smoke going, and introduce our meat to the heat. Now, let's leave it alone for 1 hour and come back and see how it's going. We've come back to see what our turkey is doing inside the pit. We need to check those internal temperatures to see where we are in the cooking process. But rather than open the lid, letting valuable heat escape and adding to our cook time, we've got this, the TW8060 dual channel thermocouple meter with an alarm. Each probe runs into the pit. One is securely fastened to the grill grate and gives us an accurate internal temperature. The other is buried deep inside the turkey breast to give us an internal temperature of the bird. Based on these numbers, we can see that we're still operating in our optimum temperature of the pit, 235 to 275 F. The other tells us that we still have a ways to go to get to done on that turkey. So we'll come back in a few hours to see where we are. After 4 hours on the pit, it's finally time for us to check the internal temperature of our turkey. When roasting a turkey at higher temperatures, you'll want to remove the bird from the oven a full 10 to 15 degrees below your target done temperature. During the rest, residual heat will carry the internal temperature up to the USDA recommended 165. Cooking poultry to 165 degrees will kill salmonella quickly. However, poultry held as low as 155 for as little as 1 minute will achieve safe levels of pasteurization. Be aware that you're not going to see the same levels of carryover heat when smoking at lower temperatures. To ensure our bird is moist and flavorful, we're pulling it off the pit between 160 and 165 degrees Fahrenheit. After 4 hours in the smoker, our bird is finally cooked. Using the TW8060 dual channel thermocouple meter with alarm, we've been able to monitor the internal temperature of the bird throughout the entire 4 hours. Then with the super fast thermopen, we were able to spot check the breast and thigh to ensure proper doneness. Now the only thing left to do is carve and enjoy.